What up, guys? Welcome back to the Shinobi Squad podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
Shinobi Squad podcast, where we be spitting that real nerd truth.
Spitting the truth.
Damn, Shinobi Squad, they spitting.
We got a tagline now.
Kind of.
Until
we forget. Until we forget again.
Just like we forgot this.
Yeah.
This.
How we auditioned that and forgot all about it. Anyways, welcome back, guys. Today we talking about the fake it till you make it cosplayers. Ooh, indeed.
Ooh.
For those that don't know what fake it till you make it means, it pretty much means pretending to be more famous or popular than you really are until you are actually famous or popular. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about some of the tactics that these fake it till you make it cosplayers use. I know you got one.
Oh,
What's the first one that comes to mind?
I think I got one.
Okay.
Buying your likes and followers on Instagram.
People still be doing that?
On Facebook, everywhere. Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, yeah,
of
they
course
still do it.
Why not?
Yeah.
So what's a red flag for you that triggers you to believe someone has bought their likes or followers?
Hate to say it, but some of these people who just come out the woodwork, just right off the bat, they post a few pictures. Okay, they got like 5 pictures total, and then all of a sudden they have 20,000 followers
Out of nowhere.
They have 5 pictures on their page.
The content doesn't match the followers, or the follower count isn't supported by the level or amount of content.
And it's also the kind of pictures. It could be like a snippet of something, or like a blurry picture, or something that really doesn't hail 20,000 followers or 30,000 followers, what have you.
I feel that. You would think, especially within the cosplay world, it's about art, quality,
right,
or whatever. Then you see some half-ass picture or some half-ass cosplay.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this person's blowing up, and you're just wondering why. But quick disclaimer before people start getting all pissy out there, getting all mad, start saying things like, oh, you shouldn't judge someone by their quality of cosplay. I'm not talking about someone who's starting out and their cosplay is not that great. We all have to start somewhere. This podcast is specifically talking about the people who are out there flexing on the world. They out there acting all high and mighty that they these superstar cosplayers, these superstar people within the con scene. That's who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the average cosplayer, the con goer. I'm specifically referring to the people who are going out of their way to put up this illusion that they are these superstars within this circle of people.
Right.
So back to what we're saying, the content and the follower count don't equal out. I'm sure you've seen it. I've seen it time and time again. A lot of amazing cosplayers don't get that kind of following after some time put in. Mm-hmm. Yet this person shows up out of nowhere, blows up.
Right.
A red flag I've seen is the ratio of the followers to engagement. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is the amount of people that follow their page to how many likes or comments they get on a picture or a post. Those who have a fan page or a business page on a social media account, you get these analytics that show you your engagement. Mm-hmm. Pretty much 10 to 15% of your followers see what you post. That's a fact. It's not some random thing that we just pulled out of our ass. Facebook itself has no shame in its game. It will ask you, would you like to spend money to gain more followers or to get more reach? This post could be reaching 1,000 more people for only $10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Every time you post something on a business account, they're quick to ask you, would you like to spend more money for people to see this more? Just keep that 10% number in your mind. Mm-hmm. If a person has 100,000 followers, 10% of that is 10,000. Person has 1,000, 10% of that is 100. You're going to tell me this person with mediocre work will post a selfie, a half-assed bathroom selfie with shampoo and half-used toilet paper in the background.
Dirty mirror.
They're going to get 10,000 likes on that post or picture when they have 3,000 followers.
Yeah.
So that's on the engagement ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Red flag. Sometimes like the ratio be so far off. 3,000 followers, 5,000 likes. How did more people
Right.
like your picture than the people that follow you?
Exactly.
So you're hitting almost 150% engagement, where not only all 3,000 of your followers liked your picture, 2,000 extra came from nowhere.
Right.
Red flag.
That's a little suspect.
Suspect. Red flag all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you spend enough money, that's possible.
Exactly. Anybody could do that.
I didn't know that was possible, but I guess it can be.
I could do that.
Then the other end of the ratio game, you have 100,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
You post a picture, you get like 50 likes. Those ratios are pretty bad.
Right.
How are you going to have 100,000 people that follow you, but yet only 50 of them saw your picture and like it? The first thing you wonder from the outside looking in is, why are these people following you if they don't like your work?
Right. Exactly.
Fun fact about that is, it's been proven, there's been YouTube videos about this that have tested out the theory. When you buy your likes, but you buy them from, say, a third-party website,
Yeah.
sometimes these social media sites will catch on and they will kind of block your account, not fully, but they'll kind of really limit your account
Mm-hmm.
until they sort out all the fake followers.
Right.
That explains why you magically have 100,000 followers, but you have no engagement.
Mm-hmm.
You're active on social media. I'm sure you've seen people with big followings get big responses, correct?
Right. There's a million cosplayers out there who are super popular, who their reach, it makes sense according to the ratios.
Yeah, it backs it up. Their content quality or the consistency of work,
Yeah.
the numbers back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have this pocket full of people that none of the numbers make sense.
And I kind of notice, I'm just going to put it out there, that percentage of people, they got clicks, they got people who to back them up. It looks good on paper, but then it's like when it translates on social media, I'm just like, there's no way you're getting like thousands of likes on one post, and you're at like what, 20K, maybe at the most 30K. How are you getting the same amount of likes as these super popular cosplayers?
Yeah, people that have like millions of followers. Like, how is your engagement the same as theirs? Like, again, like that's the opposite end of it.
Yeah.
Super engagement without the following for mediocre work. When I say mediocre work, this is what I mean. If cosplay was a deli or a Subway, right? These people would be a sugar sandwich if you're from the hood, right? A sugar sandwich. 2 pieces of white bread and some sugar. If you want to be little hood fancy, you might have some butter on it to hold the sugar, or a syrup sandwich. Yeah. These cosplayers are putting out butter sugar sandwiches, maybe some syrup on top, just if they are a little more fancy. Yet they getting 5-star Yelp reviews on how great this butter sugar sandwich is. No, that don't make sense. It doesn't.
And that brings me back to my point when those kind of people. I notice they're in cliques. They're doing the share for share. Share my thing, I'll share your thing. We can all be a family. Yay! And it's just like, but is that organic though? Is it?
No, it's not.
Come on.
Let's transition into another tactic. One thing I've noticed amongst the fake it till you make it cosplay crowd, they tend to guest at as many events as possible, regardless if it makes sense or not. They're just trying to slap their name on any convention, any event that will have them. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about a 50s car show in the middle of the Midwest. Why are you there promoting your cosplay at an event filled with a bunch of old people that don't even know what cosplay is?
Right.
They're just there to see cars from the 50s when they were kids. I understand that example was a little extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring it back to the convention scene. Let's look at it from a financial standpoint. Cosplayer, say from New York,
Mm-hmm.
is guesting at a con in Kansas City in the Midwest somewhere. Small ass event. Maybe 2,000 attendees. First question you ask is, Do they actually have a following in Kansas City? Are these people demanding, oh, please bring this New York cosplayer? When it comes to the fake it till you make it cosplayers, I've noticed no. From my experience, I've noticed some of these people are very local.
Mm-hmm.
They may have friends, they may have like a little group of people that follow them locally, but nationwide, no. Yet, they're still guesting at these events that make no sense. Makes you wonder, does this small con actually have the budget to fly them out there? Probably not.
Yeah.
You look at the rest of their guest lineup, they may have one or two voice actors. That's it. The rest of their guests are all local people,
Yeah.
local Kansas City cosplayers. Then there's this one oddball, this person from New York. Being someone that has guested at cons before, it does make you wonder, well, what's in it for both parties?
Mm-hmm.
Why would this person travel from New York to Kansas City if they don't have a following there?
Right.
It goes back to that fake it till you make it clout moment.
Mm-hmm.
For that cosplayer, they get to brag that they were at this con, that they were a guest. Great illusion online. You're faking it till you make it. You're from New York, you're guesting in Kansas City. Shana, you've been at these cons where you've seen those type of guests. How many people are actually at their booth?
Not a lot. maybe a few people who stop in to say hi.
A few. Shauna's being nice. Most of the time, it's a ghost town.
It's a ghost town. I'm just gonna say it.
Me being someone who shoots cosplay music videos, I kind of linger around,
Mm-hmm.
scoping out people I may potentially shoot. I have hung around the cosplay corner or whatever they call the section where all the cosplay guests are.
Mm-hmm.
Hate to say it, but some of these tables remain empty for hours.
Yeah.
Hours and hours on end. Nobody stops to see any of these cosplayers. Even at a con as big as Anime Expo, brings me back to that original question. What is in it for both parties?
Mm-hmm.
Well, glad you asked that, Renji. Being someone that's guested, I kind of know the game. I kind of know some of the ins and outs. I've seen the smoke and mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
When going back to the fake it till you make it, it helps you fake it. Your followers see you guesting at a con. They see you as this hero to them. Oh, this person's at this event. Oh, good for them. What they don't see is how they got there.
Yeah.
How do they get there? They pay their own way there.
Mm-hmm.
They're buying that spot, to say the least, just so they can brag.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how would you feel if you were a guest at a con and nobody came to see you?
I'd feel pretty terrible, especially if I put all of my effort into promoting the event and making the cosplay for that event specifically.
Yeah, it's like that's what the con has to gain. You just said it right there. You promote their event.
Yeah.
You showed up for free. You paid your way there.
Right.
The con didn't spend any money for you. They have everything to gain. You're advertising for them, but they're not paying you anything. They let you get to brag about it. And that's the point I was trying to make. What is there to gain besides that clout?
Yeah.
And how much is that clout really worth to some people?
Mm-hmm.
As I said earlier, I've guested at cons. I've been a guest at cons for free
Mm-hmm.
for quote unquote exposure because I didn't know any better. Over the years, I've been fortunate enough to meet some of my cosplay senpais and had conversations with them. By cosplay senpais, I mean cosplayers that do this for a full-time living. This is how they pay their bills. And a common thing I'm always told is stop guesting at these events for free.
Right.
Put a price tag and value your brand. You're contributing to them in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But how you're contributing and what your price tag is really depends on you.
Right.
Be honest with yourself. How much are you really worth to this event? You can always make more money, but time is one currency you can never get back.
Especially if you're trying to do this week after week.
Yeah. Giving up every weekend for what? To not make any money?
Right.
To not even get exposure half the time? If no one comes to your booth, your exposure means nothing. You're on a website to a con that's not that poppin'.
Especially if you're now living in a bigger city, but you go to these conventions that have nothing to do with you and where you're from. It'd be one thing if you're from that area and people, they knew you before you moved away. But if you're just going to these places where it's just a ghost town for everybody pretty much, it's like, how many times can you do that?
Yeah. All just to flex on people and brag you were a guest?
Right.
No, but that is a tactic that people use. It does build this illusion that you're bigger than what you are. The outside looking in, that's what they see. I personally know that tactic. I've seen through the smoke and mirrors. Then you can turn around and use that resume to sell yourself to the next event. Hey, I was a guest at this con, so you should make me a guest at your con. Most likely, if you're willing to pay your own way there, they'll be like, okay, it's not hurting us any.
Right.
Unless you're just problematic or an asshole or something.
Yeah.
But they will take you. It's another moment for a disclaimer. Not trying to downplay people who guest at cons. Once again, I'm just referring to the people that generally just use this to fake it till they make it. Just to brag to their followers. To present this illusion that they are more than who they are. I understand a lot of small cons do depend on people volunteering. A lot of cons are nonprofit. I get that. Not knocking that. Not knocking the people that are generally there to support the con. I'm only referring to the people that are lying to themselves and their followers.
Right.
Again, I wouldn't be out here in LA if it wasn't for these cons that gave me a chance to guest.
Right.
The difference between me and that, though, was I guested locally. I didn't spend $400 to fly myself out to Kansas City
Right.
for no fucking reason. That's the difference. Nor did I take that moment to flex on people and pretend I was someone I wasn't. Let's transition to another tactic. The people that aren't even guests at the con, but fake guessing at a con.
Bitch, you're not even on the website. Just over here making your own meetup at the con that
Making
you
your
paid
own
for.
meet and greet, autograph signing. I've seen that before too. Let me take it a step back and break it down. People pretending to be guests at cons when they're not. How do they do this? They pay for either an artist alley table or a dealer's booth. When they promote that they're going to be at an event, they have a super official looking flyer that they made. A graphic designer made them look super official. You being a follower on the outside looking in, you're like, wow, you're going to be at this event? That much is true. They will be at that event. We're automatically programmed to think because we see an official flyer, they're officially a part of the event. There's a difference between being a guest that was invited by the convention to being a dealer's. A lot of dealers' rooms and artist alleys, if you're one of the fortunate people that get chosen to vend, you just got to pay the money and you get a booth.
Right.
That's it. Some cosplayers have taken this to their advantage. They know they dropped the money to be at some of these big events. Then they flex all online. They make you feel that they are official. They are with this event. Yes, you have to promote your booth or whatever. But there's a difference between promoting, hey, I have a booth, I'll be selling merchandise, to this whole show, this whole presentation with video announcements and super nice graphics on a flyer promoting, I'll be at Anime Expo. And then in very small print, at booth 207. As Shana said earlier, you're not on the website. You're not in the program guide. But yet, you are running your show as if you were. That's part of the hustle. You putting your money up for this advertisement. Then there's some people that don't even have their own booth. They're just there either volunteering or they're just asked to be a feature of another booth. Booth may be something big or small, regardless. Same persona. I'm going to be at this con. Come and check me out. I'm doing a signing. And again, just bragging their pants off for maybe an hour at a booth that's not even theirs. Goes back to what I said earlier. How they got there, we don't know. They could have paid their way there. I've seen people charge to be featured at their booth, to split a booth.
Yeah, split a booth.
Split a booth so we can all pretend like we're famous. It's a big circle jerk. Hey, I'll do it for free. Just let me flex. Those are just a few of the things I've witnessed. What have you seen, Shauna?
I've seen people who are just like super official online, but then like it turns out they got a friend that's got a booth officially at the convention, but they're just like occupying like a corner of their table and like just using that to promote themselves. I'm like, okay, well, that person paid for their table. They paid for their booth, but here you are
Just lingering.
in the corner of their
Yeah.
table, their booth. Like, what are you doing?
That's another extreme too, yeah. Where either their friend is the one that's actually famous, then they're just there lingering, hoping they can catch some residual attention.
Yeah, it's like, okay, and how does that look for your friend? It's like their friend is actually selling something, a product, but
Yeah.
here you are with your business cards, just like, hey, look at me, look at me.
I'm here too. Hey, look at me.
That's the worst. I hate seeing that.
Yeah, that's not even sharing a booth. That's just kind of like parasiting a booth.
Yeah.
You're just a parasite leeching off of the attraction or the audience that person's already gaining.
And it's not even official. You don't got no banners, no nothing. You just there.
Yeah. You looking like a dope dealer, just like, hey, take my business card.
Got your trench coat open,
Yeah.
like, look what I
I
got.
cosplay too, check this shit out.
That's terrible.
What's another tactic you've seen, Shauna?
Just bragging about everything and anything. Just ranging from things that they've done, no matter how big or small in the cosplay community, what they cosplayed, how they crafted, what they did. It's like, okay, I get it. I get it.
It's just brag, brag, brag.
Brag, brag, brag. And it's like, okay, I get that, but then like, the whole fake it till you make it thing, trying to be that person's friend in real life, and they just keep like diarrhea at the mouth, they're just so used to doing that in the cosplay world that when you try to hang out with them on some regular shit, they still keep bragging about anything and everything. I'm talking like things that have nothing to do with the cosplay or their cosplay life.
It's like they're going out of their way to remind people that they're supposed to be famous.
Yeah.
They just want to keep shoving it down your throat. It's like, no, the con is over. It's cool. It's safe to say that they start to believe their own lie.
Exactly.
So used to lying to people within the community that they're quote unquote famous, they just can't turn it off. They start to really believe that's what's happening. That's annoying.
It is.
You catch them behind the scenes at a room party or just hanging out anywhere that has nothing to do with con or cosplay. You're just trying to catch up on regular life, yet they still stay steadily bragging and flexing on you. I hate that so much. I've had that. People want to tell me about this and that. Like, bitch, who you fooling?
Exactly.
We've had that. Oh my God. We've been to a few cons or room parties or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We just trying to hang out, just on some regular stuff. Hey, haven't got to talk to you in a while. We're thinking because we're all cool, we just gonna have a normal life conversation. Hey, how your family doing? No, this bitch just want to keep talking about her cosplay accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
Sidetrack back to what we just got done talking about. We've been there.
Right.
Shauna and I, for those who don't know, Shauna and I are from Chicago. We guested at a lot of cons in the Midwest and the East Coast long before we moved to LA.
Right.
Before a lot of this famous thing was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
This certain person just started getting in the cosplay guesting world just a couple years ago. She's steadily trying to flex on us as if we don't know the truth.
Exactly. Like we don't know the behind the scenes of what really goes on.
Bitch, we've seen the green screen. Why are you trying to flex on us?
Mm-hmm.
We're your actual friends. All the things that you're just now doing or experiencing as a con guest, we've been there, done that.
I've been cosplaying personally for 10 years. I guested at cons maybe for like 5 of those 10 years. So this isn't my first rodeo. So when people like that are talking to me and they're trying to brag and stuff like that within the cosplay community, I'm just like, I don't care. I've been there. I've done that. I'm over it.
Yeah, like quit pretending to be this super successful person.
Right.
To us. We know who you are. Not trying to shade people's finances, but if you want to flex on us, bitch, we drove our car here. You fucking took the train.
Right.
Like, we know you ain't out there popping like you are pretending to be.
Exactly.
You came here on some public transit shit and you're trying to flex like you're super successful and almighty, but you're not. It's one thing to try to flex to your social media people, then you believe the lie and then you flex on your actual friends.
For me, it's just so like unfortunate because I can't make friends within this community because of that fact. Because even when I'm just at a party or just at my house and I invite people over, the cosplay's off, the makeup's off, and whatever, and I just want to be real with somebody, and I'm just trying to talk to them on a real personal level, and then they just want to keep bringing up things that they've done and their accomplishments, and they want to brag about this and that and brag about like whatever. It's like, okay, you can bring it down a notch. Like, we're in our like comfortable environment.
Yeah,
You don't have to do that.
It's like, who are you trying to convince? Like us or yourself?
Cause like us, like even when we say things like, "Okay, we get it," like let's just be real. No, it's one thing after another. It's brag, brag, brag. It's this and that and whatever. Okay, that's great. Enough with the fluff. Like, I'm over it. Let's just talk as regular people. Let's just hang out, get some matcha and whatever,
Yeah.
and just chill. But some people can't do that.
Yeah, some people just need to keep living that lie. As I stated, who are you trying to convince? Us or yourself?
Right.
Time for another transition. Let's talk about the minions. The minions. To me, the minions are the people that are pretty much there to kiss ass.
Right.
What are your thoughts on some of the minions? I'm sure you've experienced that as well.
I have a whole lot to say about that because just moving to California in general, people are like that. You know, the whole Hollywood scene, the whole LA scene, people are like that. They're fake. And the reason why a lot of them want to make as many friends as possible is so they can promote each other and do things like that. Speaking on the cosplay community, it's the same thing. I feel like they do it more out here in California than anywhere because they're just like, oh, well, if you share me, I'll share you. Or if I'm invited to this thing, I'm going to invite you. But if you get something, if you get a plug, then you can invite me. And that whole stigma is just so fake to me.
It's pretty much a big circle jerk,
Yeah.
to say the least. Half these people in these crews don't even like each other. They're just there for business gain. As Shana, if you share me or if you share this opportunity with me, if I get an opportunity, I'm going to share it with you.
Yeah. Oh, but don't forget about me the next time you get something.
Don't forget about me when you catch a lick. You really start to notice that.
Yeah.
You really do. Quick side note, from my observations of a lot of the SoCal cosplay scene, coming from the Midwest, we've been able to see things differently. A lot of cosplayers from the Midwest or wherever else besides here are just genuine fanatics of the culture. They're just fans of the anime, fans of the media, fans of the culture. My observation of SoCal cosplay culture, there is a majority of people who are here just for the business aspect.
Yeah, it's a business.
It's
not
a business
fun anymore.
That's it. A lot of people come to LA with dreams on being famous, being a superstar, whatever. Unfortunately, for most people, that never happens. A good 90-something% of people that come to LA fail. On the thought of that failure, for some reason, cosplay seems like a great plan B. I've noticed a lot of people that are trying to cosplay professionally, I'm talking about the people that are just here strictly for the business aspect, all used to be failed models, singers, actors. For some reason, I don't know who started this and put this in their head. Cosplay was going to be their way back to fame. Sorry to say, most cosplayers don't make money.
Yeah.
You land a modeling gig, an acting gig, that may pay you a couple $1,000s. You land yourself a guesting gig at a con, you're lucky if you walk away with $200 if the con didn't pay you. People ain't out there trying to buy prints and stuff like they used to. With that mentality, as Shana said, it makes it hard to find people that are genuine. Everyone's out here because they're trying to hustle.
Yeah.
And now, for people that didn't make it as an actor, a singer, a model, whatever they came to LA for, they're trying to make it as cosplayers, as if that's going to be a segue onto the big screen. I'm sorry, it's not.
It's not.
Or it's not yet. I haven't seen it happen. These minions, I guess that's the best way to call them, they look for a leader. They look for someone to follow and praise. Sometimes these fake it till you make it people already have their minions in place. They have their people that will comment on every picture. They have their people that will share every picture. Those are the planned minions. Then comes, I guess, the ass-kissing minions. They see this person slowly or quickly rising amongst the ranks from what they see, then they start kissing ass extra hard. They're trying to pretend to be one of the day one friends.
Right.
They pretend to be like, I've been with you since day one. Don't forget about me. Back to that circle jerk mentality. Don't forget about me. I was always there for you. So then they start commenting and they start sharing. And then that starts spreading. So now there's this clique of minions
Right.
that just praise this person for the illusion that they're putting up.
And it must be exhausting doing that, because the only way that you feel that you're going to get any kind of recognition is if you're friends with that person. Well, friends with that person, and you're sharing them on social media, and you're just doing share for share. Like, it must be exhausting to only have those followers because you're doing something for somebody else.
I'm sure it's exhausting on both ends to be the minion and to be the head honcho.
Yeah.
Now you have to look back and keep track of all these fake ass people
Right.
that are supporting your fake ass. Now you have to play the game twice as hard and give back to some of these fake people. You have to start keeping track of who was there for you. Then you have to start giving back to them.
Yeah.
It's just exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Y'all just supporting each other because now you feel you have to because you're trying to gain something out of it. It's no genuine, I really like your work, so I'm going to share you. It's, oh, you shared me, now I'm forced to share you. And it's just this vicious cycle that keeps spreading. Let's dive one layer deeper with these minions. The minions spread from this circle jerk crew of friends, starts to spread out to media people, photographers, videographers. Let's start with them. They see this person on the rise. They start to lean more towards them to take their pictures. They want to get them on their resume before they become too big. They build that friendship. Like, hey, I'll give you all this free photography. In return, when you become big, shoot with me. Promote my stuff. You start seeing that happen. Same cosplayers work with the same photographers. That photographer starts to get a little gain in the following. They start getting big-headed that they only want to work with that level of cosplayer. Same with video people. You start to notice on everyone's portfolio, it's the same handful of cosplayers. You see the transition between they used to shoot everyone to now that they're in this fake it till you make it zone as well. And they're only shooting, quote unquote, the famous people now. That extends to convention heads, convention staff. They see these people on the rise, reach out to them. Hey, you want to guest at my con? I can't pay you, but you can come back here. These cons are purely reaching out to these people, not because their attendees want to see them. It's because they want that clout that they think is there with their cosplayer. All they look at is the numbers. They invite this person out as a guest, don't pay them shit. This person advertises it. They may or may not gain a few attendees off of it, but who cares? It didn't cost them any money. That hurts that con because they could have chosen someone that their attendees actually wanted to see. That's just that minion shit. It just keeps spreading, and then all these people are just kissing each other's ass for no fucking reason.
It's just one thing after another. It's like, you got your numbers, you got your followers, you're sharing for share and stuff like that, and then these conventions holler at you. It's like the same like chain effect.
It's a chain effect where not only are they believing their own lie, they have a whole group of other people believing the lie, creating them to believe the lie that they've created by trying to benefit off of you.
Right. But then, like, how does that make you feel? Like, is that genuine stuff? Like, at the end of the day, are people really following you because they genuinely want to? Or are they following you because...
They're trying to gain something.
Exactly. And that sucks.
It does. That opens up a whole nother can of worms,
Yeah.
which I could speak about on a podcast by itself.
We can go on for hours.
Are these people just here because they really mess with you like that? Or are they also trying to be in this fake it till you make it circle?
And I have one more personal thing to add to that. It hits me a little personally because I'll meet people in real life, these cosplayers, and I'll hit it off really well with them. Like, we'll have a really good conversation. We'll genuinely like each other's art in real life. We'll talk about it. We follow each other on social media. And then as soon as I stop maybe checking in on them or hitting the like button on their picture, they unfollow me out of nowhere. And then it's just like, I see them at a con again and it's crickets. It's like they don't even know me.
Yeah, that's bogus because I'm sure you know them in real life. You met somewhere for whatever reason. Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't hit like if you never see their post. Sometimes you have no control of what social media shows you.
Exactly.
Due to the algorithms, you didn't see that they posted. They probably misconstrued it and take it the wrong way. Like, oh, Shana don't want to support me anymore.
Yeah. And that's why I say
get
it
it.
kind of hits me a little personally because it's not even about that sometimes. It's like you said, maybe I didn't see their post right away or it's just like, but I feel pressured into doing things like that, like liking someone genuinely if I don't see every post that they do or every story or whatever. And then they unfollow me out of nowhere because I think they're taking it personally. But it's not even about that, you
It
know?
makes you think back, like, were we even friends in the first place?
Did we hit it off for real or were you just trying to get something out of me?
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's sad. That's sad to me.
All right, let's try to wrap it up. Let's try to end this with some kind of positive conclusion on such a negative topic. If you take anything from this podcast, take this home with you. Don't compare yourself to people out there on social media. Don't value who you are based on that number, based on their number. Most of that shit is fake.
Yeah.
Don't compare your real life value to someone's fake value they put online.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how they got those followers. You don't know what is happening behind the scenes. You know what work you're putting in, and that's all that matters. Just ignore these numbers. I'm sure you've heard this time and time again in different aspects, but when it comes to cosplay, a lot of people out there are faking it. That shouldn't devalue who you are as a cosplayer.
Mm-hmm.
This social media game, even within the cosplay world, is a lot of smoke and mirrors. Don't be discouraged that you don't have the numbers of someone else.
Because you never know if somebody bought their likes and followers.
You don't know how much ass kissing they've done to maintain their lie.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I hate to admit it, I guess there's one thing positive that's come from people trying to fake it till they make it. It's all these people reaching out to these cons trying to do it for free. It has proven that at least some conventions are willing to feature new faces. I guess that's positive.
Yeah, it's very positive.
Yeah, I guess it's positive. This convention's taking a chance with someone they don't know. I know I'm tired of seeing the same con feature the same person every year for whatever reason, despite if they're still relevant or not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cons that caught a certain wave of cosplay guests and just booked them every year because they booked them the previous year. Sometimes I wonder why. I'll look at some of these cosplayers. It's kind of harsh to say, but for lack of better words, some people are kind of washed up. They're not relevant or they haven't done anything recent, yet the convention has them back year after year after year. Part of me just thinks that's due to them being lazy, or they still believe that illusion that this cosplayer is bringing in people.
Yeah.
So I guess the only positive thing I can think of right now that fake it till you make it has brought is that at least some conventions are taking chances on new people. And that's, I guess you can't hate on that.
You can't because it sheds light on those people who are getting overlooked because of these same 5 cosplayers that just keep getting the spotlight year after year. And it gives other people a chance to show what they can do.
Let me give one last disclaimer. Again, don't know when you tuned in on this podcast. Your butthole may be on fire for the things we have said. We are talking specifically about the people that have put up this fake persona, spent money to build this illusion, buying likes, buying spots at conventions, just to pretend that they're famous, just to pretend that they're high and mighty. They're in a different league than the common cosplayer. That's who we're talking about. We're talking about the people living a lie, out there trying to fake it till they make it to actual cosplay fame or professionalism, whatever their goal is. That's why I don't feel bad talking shit about them. What they're doing is definitely toxic to the community. I get that it is a marketing strategy. People do it in all types of medias. I know singers, rappers, other people have done it. Hell, Jay-Z even admitted to faking it till you make it. Him and his original Rockefeller crew rented an office in New York just so they can have a dress to put on their CDs and merchandise. They rented an office and they had like 2 desks and a phone. They didn't actually run much business out that office. It built that illusion though. So I get it. It is a marketing strategy. Mm-hmm. Jay-Z was in the rap game. He was in the music game. So he was strictly out to make money. Him faking it till he made it didn't really hurt the rap game. Cosplayers faking it? Y'all know me. I don't hold my tongue. That shit is dumb. So I'm going to say how dumb it is. And hopefully some people realize it's dumb too. And maybe they'll stop. or stop flexing so hard.
It's dumb because you're never going to make any genuine friends out of it either.
And it's dumb because some people flex so hard they believe their own lie, but then they don't look what the lie is actually putting on the table. You still ain't making no money off of cosplay. So at the very least, at least believe that. You can fake to be popular, but you can't fake making money when there is no money in front of you.
Right.
I have nothing else to say.
I think we covered a lot of topics here.
Yes, we covered a lot. So there's nothing left to say except thank you so much for tuning in this episode of the Shinobi Squad podcast. I'm Fanservice Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.